And I'd like to dedicate this one to all parents. It's a big, I had a birthday recently, and for me, birthdays put me in the mind of thinking of my parents rather than me. I know. It's called Watch Your Ears, you will be lovely, thank you. Apartheid. That's a Dutch word for an English creation. Inflicted on Africans for generations. It roughly translates to separation. It states that not all people are created equal, not all of our lives are worth the same. And it was repeated again and again until it became ingrained on the brain like a dirty stain. But my father didn't listen. He didn't accept that status. So at age 19, he turned his back on like most racist of places, flew half around the world and fell in love with someone of a different colour, my sister's mother. And a few years later, he met my mum. The mum was still in her belly by the time they were done, and people started saying to her, you've already got one son, no money, no marriage support, you're going to have a second one, do you really think you ought to? But my mother didn't listen. She went ahead and raised us both on her own. With all the love, strength and wisdom she gave us, there was nothing broken about our home. Impressed upon us having one parent was fine because we had our fathers with us all the time, and I listened to that and still listen today. But when she took me to church to hear the preacher say, unless you find this God in this way described in this book, your soul will be lost, it'll never get lifted, that's when my interest turned off and my young mind drifted. I started to search. Ask questions like, what about those who don't live near a church? What about people in other parts of the world with other saviours and other flavours than the one you're talking about when us guys dying during the after party in the sky? They're going to miss out. I don't mean to cast out, and I put you so cherished and sure hope my soul doesn't perish. But if all this stuff happened 2,000 years past, can I really be asked to go trusting King James to be indulging again in the Chinese whispering? And that's about the point that I stopped listening. And to think, kids in my council estate told me I was half caste. It wasn't until I got to school I realised I was just half fast. But for the first few years I kept my ears up, but then my attention span must have been defective. But about halfway through my listening got selective. I still tuned in English, PSE, art, drama, RE, into any teacher encouraged debate and discussion, but to the rest I listened like a man with concussion. I was more concerned with messing around, earning the crown of class clown, and with my teacher around and found my mum frustrated. She said, you're blessed with the brain, it's wrong for you to waste it, and I agree with her. But I also felt sure that intelligence was more than league tables and test scores. It made me feel raw the way the system implied, if you can't make it in here, you can't make it outside. And I saw kids lose their pride and their self-esteem before they even hit 16, because national curriculum told them that they couldn't jump through the hoops that were stolen and not to waste their time with dreams. But it wasn't until my exams got close that my ears really started to get closed. And if you can't remember how it works, please let me explain. Take a lot of information, see how much you can retain, when it's like, go spit it back out of the game. Like that old party game. Pretend like I'm going to trade, someone takes a rank and you can record and list. Even when I had a short-term memory, using it for this has left me so uninspired. So I never did just as much as was required, and a lot of the time not even. I think the problem was none of the prize enough for anything I could believe in. Do well today and you'll get a piece of paper. Then 2 years later you can get another nicer piece of paper. And if you stick around for 4 years more, you can get a really nice piece of paper that'll open up every door, and a bright future and a fuckload of debt will be yours. Well, that path might work for some people, sure. When I tried to follow it, I just felt like something was missing. And maybe it was because it wasn't right for me, maybe it was just because I didn't listen. I didn't listen either when they told me, don't smoke reefer. I didn't listen when they said, you can't make a living from poems. I know it's a long shot. So was Jesse Owens. I don't listen to the advertising, constantly invading our consciousness with cheap tricks and all their promises like who you are can be expressed by the things that you possess, and more if you've got it's not quite enough, because life is so much happier if you just had more stuff and countless billions to spend. Trying to ensure that we never feel content. You don't look thin enough, you don't look young enough, you don't work hard enough, you don't have fun enough, following us around like an evil conscience, mumbling on our ears, playing on our fears, but I got no time for paranoid whispering. What's that? Did you say something? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I did listen. To Neil Scott Heron and Curtis Mayfield, when they showed that struggle can be poetic, beautiful and aesthetic, and the lengths to which the soul can survive. I listen to people like Talib Kweli, Kate Tempest and Kanan and keep that message alive. I listen to reggae and its vast inspired philosophy and told people ground down my poverty with other ways to enrich yourselves and economically. And no longer do you need to access someone else's version of the truth, because now you've got your own. And when I was a kid they told me listen to your elders, and I understood that, but not till I was grown. But I try to listen to what those who love and care for me have to share with me. And if it's not agreed with, it's always respected. I try to stay reflective, listen to myself, because that's one of the voices most commonly neglected. And because I know the closed mind can't grow, it can only strangle, I try to listen to people who see life from different angles. But it's such a noisy world, all kinds of chaos constantly happening, and silence is gold and listening must be platinum. So keep your ear to the ground, but be aware not everything you hear is sound. It's a pity, a lot of what we listen to just isn't pretty. The truth can record over so many times, the sound quality is all shitty, like trying to look at the stars at night when you live in the middle of a city. And when life is this loud it can be deafening. We can't listen to everything, we have to pick and choose. Forget what you can use and what you can lose. Which advice to adhere to and which to ignore, and I've only got one piece more to extend to you. Treat your ears like your heart, and be careful who you lend them to. Thank you all very much.